This video is for my middle school grammar group, and we are on page 166. So let's get started with our next section. So we're starting with simple sentences. So a simple sentence consists of one independent clause. Now remember, what is an independent clause? An independent clause stands alone, right? It has a subject, a verb, and it doesn't need anything else to be a complete sentence. Okay, so it has an independent clause. All of the sentences you have studied so far in this book have been simple sentences. A simple sentence has only one subject and one predicate. However, either the subject or the predicate or both may be compound. All four of the examples are simple sentences, even though some of them have compound parts. So I can have a compound noun and a verb, and it still be a simple sentence, okay? So let's read these simple sentences. William Carey obeyed God's word. He and his supporters formed England's first missionary society. Carey traveled to India and ministered there. Carey and his helpers learned the language and translated the Bible. Now, let's talk about a compound sentence. A compound sentence consists of two or more independent clauses. That means we have two sentences, independent clauses that can stand alone. So, Jan ran to the store, Mike bought milk. Okay, so both of those have a subject, they both have a verb, and they both go, they can stand apart. They can be broken into two separate sentences. Okay, now, they can be joined to do a compound sentence. So, Jan ran to the store and Mike bought milk. We combine them with an and, which looks a lot like a compound subject or a compound predicate, right? But it's not. Okay, it's two separate sentences that have been joined together. That's what a compound sentence is. You're not just looking for the word and or but, right? Because I could say, Jan and Mike played a game. In that case, Jan and Mike are the one subject. They just are a compound subject, okay? Because they both played the game. Does that make sense? You can't break that apart into two separate sentences. All right? So let's look at page 167, simple sentence. The English preachers rejected his idea. Who or what is the sentence about? The sentence is about preachers. What is being said about preachers? Preachers rejected. Okay? Let's look at the next simple sentence. Carey obeyed God's word. Who or what is the sentence about? The sentence is about Carey. What is being said about Carey? Carey obeyed. Okay? Now let's look at the compound sentence. The English preachers rejected his idea, but Carey obeyed God's word. So now we have those two sentences combined, and we have preachers rejected. That's a noun and a verb. Okay? And then we had but Carey obeyed. Okay, do you see how those can be separated into two separate sentences? That's what makes that a compound sentence. Okay? So let's look at those compound sentences. The missionary society supported William Carey and he went to India. So society supported and he went. Okay, so we have two subjects and two verbs. We have two independent clauses. Okay, Carey learned the language. He and his helpers, so he and helpers, translated. Okay, that's the second set of that sentence. Okay, so we have simple sentences and we have compound sentences. So look at on page 168, your work 8-3, it says label the sentences simple or compound. So we're doing an S for simple and a CD for compound. Let's do a few of these together, okay, to see how you're doing. Frozen foods stay fresh for long periods of time. So foods stay. Simple sentence. S. Many cooks buy food in bulk and freeze part of it for later. So cooks, what do cooks do? They buy and freeze. So that's our one independent clause, right? So we have a subject and a predicate over here. Let's keep reading. That's just a simple sentence. There's a period, so we should put an S on the line. That first sentence was simple. Let's read the second sentence. these, oh, I'm sorry, we're on number 2. My apologies. So that's a comma. Or they is a next subject, make and freeze whole meals. So that's a compound sentence. So number 2 is CD. Sorry, my eyes went down to number 3. Okay, let's read number 3. Today, companies freeze a variety of food products. Period. So that first sentence is an S. So we'll put an S on the line. And then the second sentence says, these products include pizza, juices, and vegetables. So the second one. So on line 3, it should say S, comma, S, because you have 2 simple sentences on that in that section. Okay? What I want you to do is continue to work on this, and in just a little while, I will Marco Polo you the answers to 8. I believe you're doing 8.3 and 8.4 today. And so I will Marco Polo you those answers, and you can check your work. But do your work first, okay? Don't just write down the answers. Good job, guys.